Armando Baker here.
It's Luke May.
This is Tyler Hansbrough.
University of North Carolina.
Here's North Carolina.
I just want to shout out my boy JBear_YT.
JBear_YT.
It's Carolina family, baby.
Go Heels.
Go Heels.
What's up, boys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to do our NFL predictions for the whole season. This isn't going to be a game-by-game type thing because it's like I'm going to do weekly predictions each week of the NFL season. So this is just thinking like taking pretty much each team and predicting their records and then predicting the playoffs. We're here on playoffpredictors.com and I've already filled out all the stuff that we need to get to this point. So I'm just going to do a little bit overview of each division, telling you why I think this team's going to win it and so on and so forth, and then we'll get into the playoffs. So starting, I guess we'll start with the AFC. We'll go to the AFC North here. Ravens, Browns, Bengals, Steelers is the order I have it finishing in. I know Browns finishing in first is a hot topic right now, but I think the Ravens are obviously the more experienced team. I think that I trust Lamar Jackson a little more than Baker Mayfield. I'm not sure what Baker Mayfield's going to be doing this season, but the team is definitely good enough to get like slightly above average play out of Baker Mayfield. So 13-4 is where I have the Ravens going. It's not. I don't think they're going to end up being 13-4 to be completely honest with you. But just filling it out in the week by week thing, it's that's just how it ended up. Browns in a very close second there, and then Bengals with a big improvement over the previous year, and Steelers. I'm not high in the Steelers whatsoever. I think Big Ben isn't in his. Obviously, he's not in the best playing shape of his career, and I just don't agree. I think their O-line isn't going to be good enough to support even drafting Najee Harris in the first round. I think that's a really bad decision for him. Defense is pretty good, but the offense, I just don't think the Steelers' offense is going to be much of anything this year. On to the AFC South. I had the Titans winning this division. I think it would be close between the Titans and Colts as for who wins the division, but Carson Wentz is injured, and same thing with Quentin Nelson. Not sure how long those two guys are going to be out, but that would definitely hurt them, and I think keep them out of winning this division for sure. So I do like the Titans here. I like Mike Vrabel as the coach. Ryan Tannehill's showing that he's a top 10 quarterback in the league. Obviously, Derrick Henry is probably the best pure running back in the entire NFL, not factoring in the receiving game or anything, because obviously Christian McCaffrey would have that. But I like the Titans team. I think their defense could be pretty good this year as well. Obviously, Colts have a really good defense and offensive line, but I don't think the rest of the pieces are going to be enough without Carson Wentz and Quentin Nelson to get them into the playoffs. Jaguars, I think, will take a big step up with Trevor Lawrence finishing 6-11, and Texans, I just don't see them winning the game, man. I really don't. It's hard for me to look at their roster and see them winning a game against any other NFL team. So I think they'll get the first overall pick, though. So good on them there, Texans. Especially if Deshaun Watson isn't gonna play, which I don't expect him to play. So, anyways. The AFC East, I think the Bills are going to come out and win this one with a 14-3 record. I'm very high on the Bills this year. If Josh Allen puts up the same level of production he did last year or better, there's no doubt in my mind the team is going to be fantastic. If Josh Allen somehow falls off a cliff after getting paid all that money, kind of just like chills up a little bit or whatever, I could see the Bills being much worse than this. But if Josh Allen is as good as he was last year, I think they can easily be the best team in the AFC. So Patriots, I do have finishing in second. Quarterback play is kind of what I am questioning there. Will Cam Newton be really good? And if he's not, can Mac Jones step in and get a good production out of him? But I like the coaching staff. The offensive line's good, and I like the defense as well. So the Patriots, I'm pretty high on them this year. Dolphins, I don't think they're going to be above 500 this year. Their schedule isn't very favorable. Tua didn't look great last year. If he comes out and performs extremely well this year, which I don't see happening, they could definitely be better than that, but I don't see that happening. Jets, obviously, I give them 3 wins this year, so which is a step up. They're making their way out, I guess. And finally, in the AFC West, I got the Chiefs winning that division with the Chargers finishing in second at 12-5. I like Justin Herbert. I think if he takes another good step up this year, the team's going to be really, really good. I think they're outside of the division. I think their schedule is actually pretty favorable. So I think they're going to be able to get at least 10 wins on this schedule this season. Broncos, if they had a legit quarterback, they would be a playoff team. The rest of that roster is really, really good. And the Raiders, I am very low on the Raiders this year. Derek Carr, I think he's an average quarterback in the NFL. But I do not like the way that Gruden and Mayock have handled this team whatsoever. Now on to the NFC. Starting with the NFC North, I had the Packers finishing in first place, which made it a pretty easy decision for me to go with there, considering that Aaron Rodgers is going to be playing at least one more year in Green Bay. Last year's MVP. Bears, like the Bears defense, obviously, but at quarterback, it's kind of a question mark. Will Justin Fields play at any point, and will Andy Dalton be able to perform to the levels he used to be able to play at when he was a Pro Bowler? I doubt it, but the defense is really good, and I should be able to get them 8 wins in this season. Lions and Vikings, I actually have finishing with the same record. I'm not very high on the Vikings this year, man. I'm not very high on the Lions either, but there were just a couple games where I gave them the benefit of the doubt, because at the end of the season, the teams they just happen to be playing against aren't going to be necessarily needing to win. I think the Lions can tweak out some. I do think the Vikings are a better team than the Lions, do not get me wrong, but I'm not high on either of those teams. In the NFC South, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers obviously coming out on top in that division with a 14-3 record. They pretty much just brought back everybody. I mean, there's no reason for them to really get worse. It's impossible for me to predict that Tom Brady will get worse, so there's no reason for me to predict that they will not have a 14-3 record this season. Panthers, I have taken a huge step up. Yes, you can consider me a biased Carolina Panthers fan. Do I think they're going to go 10-7? No. But I think the majority of their schedule is favorable, and I think they can get a win in Week 18 against the Buccaneers, since they probably won't be playing any of their starters at that point. That's why I think they end up 10-7. I think they're more of an 8-9 type team, if I'm being honest. And it really comes down to Sam Darnold. If he can perform like a league average quarterback, I think this team can end up at a borderline playoff spot. But if he ends up worst quarterback in the league like he was with the Jets, there could be more like a 5 or 4 win team. So there's a really big gap depending on Sam Darnold's play this year. And Falcons and Saints, I have with the same record at 7-10 in the NFC South. Drew Brees Saints, I like some of the pieces on the rest of the roster. I'm just not sure, and I'm not really confident in Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill. And as for the Falcons, the defense just won't be able to give them enough wins the offense tries to give them. In the NFC East, I have it kind of being another bloodbath. I mean, kind of just not great teams beating up on not great teams. I think the football team is my clear and obvious favorite to win the division. I think the defense on the football team is really nice. But I'm not sure if Ryan Fitzpatrick and that offense will be able to give enough of a boost to get like a really good team level, you know what I'm saying? And the Cowboys, just not high on the Cowboys, man. I don't know what it is. It's not Dak Prescott, although he is coming off an injury. I've been saying for a while that Ezekiel Elliott is one of the most overrated running backs in the NFL. He was carried by his O-line those couple seasons when he was really good. Giants, I think they'll be a decent team. I think the Giants will be better than the 6-11 record that I have them at, but just looking at the schedule, I don't think there's many wins there. I mean, I gotta be honest. And with the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, I don't expect too much from him, but if he ends up being really, really good, then they'll obviously have more than 2 wins. And in the NFC West, the best division in football, in my opinion, the Rams I have at 13-4, Seahawks 12-5, 49ers 10-7, and then the Cardinals. I think the addition of Matthew Stafford for the Rams was huge, as Matthew Stafford's probably almost exiting his prime at this point. But I do think with the defense, how great that defense is, They have two of the best players in the NFL on the same defense. It's just crazy. Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. Seahawks, they have Russell Wilson, so they're going to be good no matter what, even if the O-line and the defense isn't going to be necessarily great. 49ers, 10-7, they have a really good roster. It comes down to quarterback play for them. I'm not sure Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be very great this season, and I'm not sure Trey Lance is going to be ready to be great when he steps in, replacing Jimmy Garoppolo eventually. So, but they're still going to be 10-7 because I like the defense and I like the coaching in San Francisco. And for the Cardinals, they're really not a bad team, but they're just in the hardest division possible. Finishing at 7-10, it's just unfortunate for the Cardinals, honestly. So now let's get on to these playoff predictions here. In the AFC, we have the 1 seed getting the bye as the Chiefs, and in the NFC, the bye is going to the Buccaneers. So in the wild card round, Chargers, Titans, I'm going to go with the Titans here. I just like how effectively they can run the ball. I don't think the Chargers are quite ready with Justin Herbert at quarterback to make a good playoff run, so I'm going to go with the Titans there. Browns, Ravens, although the Ravens did have a better record, I'm going to go with the Browns winning this game. They proved last year that they can win some playoff games, as well as the Ravens did. But the Browns were right there close to beating, regardless of Patrick Mahomes' Chiefs team. But I think the Browns are going to be really good, and they did make good improvements. I love the John Johnson pickup also. Patriots, Bills, I'm going to go Bills there. I don't think the quarterback play will be enough for the Bills to lose that game, I should say. NFC, I'm going to go with the Seahawks upsetting, well, not really upset, but you know what I mean, upsetting the Washington football team there. Panthers, Packers, I'm going to go Packers. And then 49ers, Rams, I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Rams there with the quarterback advantage. Now moving on to the divisional round of the playoffs, we have the Titans versus the Bills. I'm going with the Bills, and again, man, I'm really high on Josh Allen. Coming out of college, I thought Josh Allen was the best quarterback in that class. Definitely the most potential, but I think if he can continue what he did last year, I think there's no doubt in my mind that they're going to be heading to the AFC Championship game. And then Chiefs, Browns, I'm going to go Chiefs at the end of the day. Had an extra week of rest. As long as Mahomes is healthy, I don't see the Browns being able to win that game. And back over here in the NFC, I'm going to go with a kind of a surprise here. I'm not sure if it's really a surprise. I'm going to go with the Rams over the Packers. I know a lot of Packers fans are like, okay, well, it's going to be another loss in the NFC Championship game this year with Aaron Rodgers back. And I just don't see him making it there. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to be really motivated to play like himself. So I'm not sure. I'm just going to go with the Rams in that case there. And Buccaneers, I think, will beat the Seahawks. So moving on to the championship round, we have Bills and Chiefs here. I'm going to go with the Bills. I love this Bills team. I'm really high on them this year. I'm not very high on the Chiefs defense. The offense is so explosive, though. This is going to be a really high-scoring game. But I don't think the Chiefs defense is good enough to honestly win a Super Bowl at this point. So I'm going to go with the Bills to advance to the Super Bowl. And over here in the NFC, we have Rams, Buccaneers. I'm going to go with Tom Brady and the Bucs. Because, I mean, like betting against the Buccaneers has never paid off for me before. So I'm going to go with that there. And in the Super Bowl, we have Buccaneers, we have Bills. And I have the Buffalo Bills losing yet another Super Bowl to Tom Brady and the Bucs. I'm sorry, Bills fans. I mean, I have you going to the Super Bowl, but I mean, the win the streak for the Bills in the Super Bowl, I think will continue because the Buccaneers, they brought back basically everybody. There's pretty much no change on this roster, and theoretically, everyone should be getting better except for like Tom Brady, I guess you could say. But who knows with Tom Brady, man. So yeah, this is how I have the playoff bracket working out for this year. So yeah, that's going to be my NFL 2021 season predictions. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about these predictions. Please like, subscribe, share, turn on post notifications, do all that YouTube stuff, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.